Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the Tetsudo Mokei Podcast Edition, episode 46. I'm your host, Kennedy, and good morning to everyone from I'm not sure, somewhat hot, somewhat humid day this morning, but it's all good. I'm indoors, got the AC on, got the fan on, actually, and I'm okay. Hope everyone is doing well. I know there's been some really crazy weather all throughout the United States, all throughout the world. But hopefully everyone's staying safe and hope no one was affected too much. But I just want to say that again, thank you for everyone for your support on this podcast. When we started this out. Of a podcast that deals with Japanese model trains. I know that we weren't sure how many listeners we would have or if there would be any interest, but usually when you see people who are into Japanese model trains, one, they tend to be an older demographic, or two, they are either Thomas fans that are more interested in Plarail information. But I think what I'm discovering, it's a pretty good range of different types of train model fans. Those who are collecting it, may they be introduced to Japanese trains or have a big interest in Japanese trains, especially of those who travel to Japan. Those who are just train aficionados and they collect trains of all from all over the world, and those who just who love trains in general. So thank you for listening and supporting this podcast. With this month, with today being the the first, well, it's actually the second day of the month for September. That usually means in Japan that there will be new announcements of trains. So we're going to go ahead and start off and kick off with KATOmodels.com. KATO is one of the top dogs of Japan, made in Japan. These are the companies that that has a hardcore loyal following. KATO, again, is one of the reasons why people love them is that where a lot of train companies tend to outsource to different companies, they're one of the few that continue to have the moniker built in Japan, and many people love that. So KATO, I've owned many KATO trains, Engage, and also mini tracks. It's a reliable company, reliable trains. They look great, they look good, but I am more of a I'm a person, as a collector and as a person who loves running trains, that I don't like to be pigeonholed with one company. I like to pretty much enjoy the various companies that release trains, and because everyone has something different to offer. And the beautiful thing about Engage is that you can run various trains on different tracks. So maybe KATO TOMIX tracks, you could run different trains on that, and vice versa. So that is the positive of Engage right there. And especially with Japanese trains, I think they realize that there are people who also collect trains from different companies. Of course, they all have their quirks and differences, but for the most part, they are reliable. KATO Precision Railroad models, top dog. They're one of the best out there. So definitely, you can definitely know that if you're buying a KATO product, you're getting quality. So again, it's at KATOmodels.com, and they are releasing in January quite a few trains. We got a lot of HO releases, as the 24 series, Sleeper Limited Express, the Hokutose, and then you get the Dream Space. So this one is, if you look at it with a JR, definitely one of the JR early ones. Look at that model with the blue on the upper right corner, that is, and the big old red lamps. That's actually pretty cool. If you like the old classic trains, it's something worth checking out. Then if you go below it, you got the workhorse, the EF81, an HO gauge, and that one is also being released. You really can't go wrong with any of the EF's 80 series, 81, 83, 85, I believe. And I mean, you just keep on going. They're just really great for having, as part of your collection. The big one, I guess you could say, for the N-Gauge is the re-release or the new release of the Shinkansen, the N700 series. You got the Nozomi, and you got the 2000 series Shinkansen. So these will be out. The N700, it will be the N700A. But still, this is a very awesome train that is definitely worth checking out. Most of you will probably get a chance to ride the Nozomi now. For those of you who go to Japan, usually it's the Hikari or the Sakura or some other type of train except the Nozomi. Nozomi is usually it was never included in the Japan Rail Pass, but they are now going to add it with the increase of the JR Pass. They are now also going to, well, you have to pay a little bit more, but you can ride the Nozomi, which is one of the fastest non-stop trains that, because the thing is that when you ride the Hikari or the Sakura Limited Express, you're going to go through various stops. Whereas Nozomi, one of the comfortable things that people like about it is that, there are not that many stops. But you have to pay a bit more just to do that. But anyway, it's a train that you will see often if you are in Japan, maybe in the Kansai or in the Kanto area. It's something you will see. So the N700A is a pretty cool looking train. I'm looking at the front right there of the Nozomi and also the 2000 series, and you can see the slight differences for the front, but again, still worth checking out. The 8-car set goes for 25,740 yen, so about almost about 220 bucks or so, or 210, depending on the dollar to yen ratio in USD. But yeah, for those of you who definitely want to run a very long setup, it's something worth considering. You also get the KATO Peko Small England. It's right there on the upper left corner, the Palmerston Maroon. So that's an interesting one right there. That just looks really classic right there. You also get the KATO Peko, by the way, in Welsh Pony Brown or the Palmerston Maroon. So you do have those choices. A little bit expensive, right? 22,000, so about 200 bucks around that. And then you go to the Russian Railway Allegra Bernina Express. If you love Swiss trains, right there on the middle. I think that is an awesome. I love collecting the Swiss trains, and it's not that expensive at 17,600. So. For the most part, I absolutely love collecting Swiss trains. Then you got the Unitrack Curved Iron Bridge, single track deck girder curved iron bridge, and the Unitrack single track truss bridge, right there. So let's go back, and we're gonna check out the other announcement right here. Okay, so moving on, we're going to discuss what is coming out in February. We have the steam locomotive, the C56-160, and that is big. That is huge. That's an awesome release. 16,500 yen, which takes it about 130 or so USD, and you can get the 12 car set of this JR train for about 6 car set for 18,370 yen, so about 150 bucks. So this is two different purchases right here, but this is the final model of that C56, and it was active in various places during the JNR area. And if you're looking for a famous steam locomotive, it's definitely worth checking out, because it's been around since the JNR era and has traveled all through Japan and operated in Hokkaido, Tohoku, Kanto, Hokuriku, Shikoku. So that is a definitely awesome train right there. I believe in 1987 was active on the Yamaguchi line, and it was a double operation with the C57 and DD51. And since 1995, the SL Kita Biwako was towed, was towing these trains, or various trains, and it's just I'm just looking at it. This is just a beautiful one. I like that the head mark right there. It's very, very nice. When it comes to steam locomotives, I don't know how often we get to see these classics being released. I mean, you do see them from KATO from time to time, but the thing is that something, that is just this impressive and just really awesome looking. It's just something you just really, it just makes you want to buy it. But the SL Kita Biwako is a special train that was operated by Japan West, JR West, and you'd find it on the Maibara station and the Kinomoto station of the Hokuriku main line. But yeah, this one, the operation, I believe, was back in 1995. So it is not a super old train, but still a classic, right? And it was used to promote tourism in the Kohoku area of Shiga Prefecture. And, the number of passengers, I think in 2010, if anything, it reached, what, 100,000 over there, around that. They had commemorative lunch boxes that were sold at the Izutsuya in Maibara City, but it was only operated on Sundays. So for those of you who wonder, why is the passengers so low? It's because they only operated on Sundays and holidays in February, October, and November, as well as Golden Week. So it's not something that was operated daily. But the head mark often changed with the operating season, and for the most part, I just feel that this is a pretty cool looking train. So again, it comes with the this 12 car train here. Let's see what kind it is. So looking at it, these are trains that were active in JR West, of course. So these are 12 series passenger trains manufactured by JNR between 1969 and 1978, and was operating all over Japan except for Hokkaido. The 12 series of the JR West Aboshi General Train Station Miyahara branch was operated together with the C56, the SL Kita Biwako Go, and as a special event train, it can only be seen in various parts of the JR West jurisdiction, but also in Kyushu. In combination with the C56-160, the former SL Kita Biwako, thank you, C56 Yamaguchi, and ASO head marks for the EF65-1000 are going to be included with this set. So, That's pretty cool. But again, 12 passenger car together being paired with the C56 160. That would be amazing to run if you have a good diorama setup, long tracks, and for those who are wondering if there's LED interior lights, no, you had to purchase those separately. But you do get those head marks for the winter, spring, autumn. So I think that's pretty cool. And it comes with its own, the usual KATO bookcase. But these are really cool. As for the couplers, it uses Arnold couplers, so. But it does come with a replacement knuckle coupler, and of course there's LED with tail lights. But yeah, that's a classic train right there. Okay, we're going to be moving on to Takara Tomy's TOMIX, and they are another top dog, from the major toy company Takara Tomy, and again, similar to KATO, they make quality trains. You'll have people who are very decisive of either getting KATO or TOMIX. One of the things about TOMIX is that while not made in Japan, and I think that's one of the major key differences right there that fans have tend to debate, but they both have positives and negatives. You can't really go wrong with either. But with TOMIX trains, one of the benefits that it has is that it's much cheaper than KATO, and also that they offer a lot more variations when it comes to releases, and also with train like certain curved rails. There's like so many variations, and that's another some people find as positive. And also when it comes to sets, TOMIX tends to be cheaper. So they did announce their March 2024, and if you could look at here real quick, this is just their February release, and then March, and this is just what you see for now, but expect it to grow. So we're going to go start off with their March 2024 release, and this is going to be very interesting right here, because this is their JR Kiha 47,800 type diesel car, and it features the Romancing Saga wrapping. So let's go to it real quick here. So this is the actual vehicle. This is not the train that you see here. Okay, I was hoping it'd get bigger, but you can't. Okay, so this one was inherited by JR Kyushu, and it was a renewal of the Kiha 47 Type 0 generation. And had an absence of, they didn't have the toilet windows and the water tank on the roof, but this was a collaboration project between Saga Prefecture and Square Enix's RPG series Saga, which has been going on for 2014. So if you are a JRPG fan, you'll know what the Saga games are all about. So starting in October 2022, the Karatsu Rolling Stock Center, which runs on the Karatsu and Chikuguri lines in Saga Prefecture, featured these cars in this special wrapping, including 7 Kiha 125 cars and 9 Kiha 47 cars with different designs. And what you're going to get here is a set C, which goes for 33,550 yen. So you're going to be paying about $300. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. So this is a high grade specification, and it reproduces the character appearance of the louver on the side of the car body. The Kiha 478126 has a toilet window, and the Kiha 47,8051 does not have a toilet window. But looking here, you have a total of 4 vehicles. You got the motor, number 1. You got the these are all the Kihas. You got the All-Star number 1, All-Star number 2, All-Star number 3, and the Saga Bath. So yeah, I think if anything, this is a really special train here. I'm looking for the, here we go. There we go here. So if you have the set 98539, you get these 4 trains. The 98539s, you get the 2, and then the Kiha 125s right here. So this is for set C. This is going to be pretty much for the diehard collectors, especially Saga fans. I am a Saga fan. Big fan of the JRPG. So, but yeah, these are really for hardcore fans. Once you start going over the $300 range, that's just like really hardcore right there. Okay, we're going to go look at the February 2024 releases, and they have a lot of releases planned for the month. So does anything catch my eye? There's actually quite a bit that actually catch my eye here. But we're going to go ahead and start with, let's start with 98551 right here. So, this is the Narita Express E259. Wow. I'm just looking at the details here, but this one appeared back in 2009. And it's a limited express train that started in October of the same year, and a successor to the 253 series. So a renewal was announced in March 2023, and in May of the same year, the paint was renewed. And in May 2023, it was the first one to appear. So this is the brand new Narita Express right here. Looking at the differences, because this is the photo of the actual vehicle. And let's see what it comes with here. Okay, so we know that the 98551 comes with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trains. My goodness, that is a lot. So, what is the price of this one? 18,590 yen. So you're going to be paying about 150 bucks, which is not bad. This is actually pretty cool. So this is new paint version of Narita Express. For those of you who, well, I would expect that many of you probably have ridden the Narita Express if you went to Tokyo, because if you arrive on the Narita airline, and if you are using a JR Pass or you're looking for the cheapest way to get to Tokyo, Narita Express is one of the probably the most cheapest way to get there, especially going back. If you have your JR Pass, since it is a JR train, you get on it for free. But yeah, it uses the M13 motor. But here's the interesting thing about this. If you go right here, it's using this new packaging of the hanging, like almost like a blister type package. That's how I feel about it. I like mine in the bookcase, but then again, that's one of the things that you have to when you are a train fan. One of the things is trying to keep everything organized and consistent. And so if you are getting to train collecting for the first time, you can, through Amazon Japan, you can purchase the cases for both KATO or TOMIX. KATO used to be the cheapest way to get it. Now they're out. They've been out for the past month now, and it's because usually it was a good way if you're going to buy something from Amazon, you would just add a clear case because one, and I actually recommend it on this podcast. For one, they by having a clear case, in a way that they're kind of forced to put it in a better box. Because one thing you don't want is being a train being put in a look like a cheap flimsy package. So usually when I added a KATO clear case, I know that it's going to be put in, or it's going to be well packaged. But they have run out. I know that within the last few weeks you have to buy 3 instead of the 1. They put a rule that you must buy 3 if you're going to order this. So I think they realized that for the price that a lot of people were taking advantage of it. And heck, I was definitely a good way to keep things consistent, because for those of you who are wondering, if I do get, let's say, a KATO release or some other release from Takara Tomy, if it comes in a cardboard release, I don't like to keep it in there. I need everything consistent. I want them in its bookcase type of boxing or packaging. It makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, I think if anything, it's that's one of the things that I prefer. But everyone is all different. Let's say that you have a Blu-ray case, and you know how you have some Blu-rays that everything's all consistent. Some may be in the box, some may be in its Blu-ray or DVD case, but then you'll have that one special edition, which is super large, and you're like, man, how am I going to store this? Well, I look at that with the boxes, is that they come in really odd shapes, odd sizes, and it's just really, it just ruins the consistency of my organization of my trains. So I tend to like to put them to get a clear case, or one of those cases available from TOMIX or KATO. And yeah, you can get those pretty cheap. But yeah, this is the Naruto Express. You're getting the new one, the new paint. One of the big difference, and I don't see it here, this is the new one, the E259. Before, you would get this NEX right on the front, but it looks like they replaced that, and they are putting the E259. I don't know if this is the rear or what, but I don't know. I really need to see their pictures to see what major differences there are, because it's a train that a lot of us have ridden on. So I think for anyone who are big fans of this, we'll probably get it. I already have a Naruto Express. I'm good. If I want something with Naruto Express, I'll probably get an older one, the one I rode back when I first went to Japan back in the 90s. So next up is the DD51 500. And this is a diesel locomotive, and I always feel that a DD51 is one of the things that everyone should have in their collection. At least one DD51, one EF series, or multiple if you want to buy more. But I do feel that the DD51s are something that one should get. These are the power horses when it comes to pulling various trains. They have trains that pull in the cold and snow. It comes with a snow plow and so forth. This one right here is the cold region type, the DD51 500 diesel locomotive. But yeah, this one comes with snow plow, swivel window. The radiator cover on the side of the bonnet was removed. It replaced steam locomotives such as the D51 and C57, and was used for both freight and passenger trains. And this one's going to be cheap at 8,800 yen, so it means you could get about $60 USD. Comes out on February 2024. Again, this is something that I do recommend if you do not have a DD51. These are high grade specifications, but yeah, if you need a really a workhorse right here, definitely get it. So it comes with a lighting board with the headlights. You get the handrails. Headlights are illuminated by a light bulb color LED. But this is very interesting right here. So on the features, it says the whistle comes with separate parts. but it comes with this type of jewel case right here, which a lot of the singles do come with. And it comes with a dummy coupler receiver, comes with a license plate, maker's plate. But yeah, I like the fact that it comes with various parts. But when I say that, it's something that I usually don't like to touch that much, and I'm going to explain why. When these trains come with various parts, remember these are engaged trains. The parts are so tiny. So think of it as even smaller than like a fingernail that you cut when you cut your nails. It could be as smaller than that and thinner than that. So if you are going to take out the parts, be in an area that if you drop it, you can easily find it. And have some like rubber cement or modeling cement or something, because that will get lost once it's easy to lose. Trying to get you really need precision and really good eyesight. If you are someone like me who does not have good eyesight and you try to place it in it's tiny little holes, it's just like, remember that game, the surgery game? Well, at least that one was bigger and you could place big parts in a big hole. But when you do it with a N-gauge, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. It's just really, is it worth it? Is it worth that frustration, especially if you lose it? As you can see, I've been there before, many times, and I said to myself, you know what? I can't do it. My eyesight is just jacked. It's not something I can do. But if you can do it, all power to you. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We know the DD51 is an awesome one here. We're going to look at, let's see here. Let's go ahead and check out the just JR48 485 series right here. And as you know, the 485 is a popular train. It comes in many forms. So this one appeared in 1968 as a limited express vehicle, compatible with 3 power sources, DC and AC 50 to 60 hertz, and was active in electrified sections nationwide. A limited express Raicho appeared in 1964 as a limited express train connecting Kansai and Hokuriku. Raicho has been used for many years and has become a representative of the 485 series limited express train in Western Japan as a Star Limited Express on the Hokuriku main line due to its large number of trains. So, the AO2 formation was retired in 2010 when the 485 series Raicho was reduced. So, so what we have here is the 481-2000 of the Kuro. But this is the Raicho train, 485 series. There are many 485 series trains, and I could tell you right now, when it comes to the 485 series, they are regarded as major trains to own for Japanese Tetsudo Mokei fans. The question is this the one for you? There have been several 485 series released throughout in 2023, so you have to do your due diligence to figure out if which one do you want. One with a bonnet, one that's flat. There's just various different kinds of 485s. Okay, so just make sure this one's for you. This one's going to be 25,630 yen, as you could see here. 98548 comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one is going to set you about $200, and then you can get an add-on of the 4 if needed. But here's the difference. Okay, everyone, sorry, I had to take a little pause right there. Okay, so as mentioned, there's a lot of 485 series. We're going to look at KATOs real quick. So here are the different ones. A lot of these were just released not long ago. You got the 485 with the bonnet. You got the 485 with the flat. So there's just different kinds out there. So we're going to look at TOMIX now. And by the way, I do own a 485. There's just so many, but here's the TOMIX version right here, and you can see the different versions right here. Got a Thunderbird looking one right here. You even get in red with the Midori Express. So you do have various versions of it, and here's another one right here, the Kamoshika. So there are various versions of that 485. So you have to ask yourself, if you are interested in this train, do you really want this version of it, or something a little different? But as you can see from here, TOMIX really has a good lineup for releases for February 2024, and they do release quite a lot actually, for the month. But you can see the pricing. A lot of the train companies have increased their pricing in 2023, due to, I don't want to use the word inflation, because it hasn't really. It's just been price increases in Japan, across the board, from food to electricity, you name it. So if you just look at the prices here, though, it's you'll find things that are affordable, but things are going to be much more expensive going forward if you are going to be a train collector. The difference is now is that usually when they did basic sets, you'd get their 3-car sets, but now they are tending to go for more larger sets. Usually now the basic sets is usually like 5 or 6 trains or so, and then the add-on sets are just the extras if you need it. So it's just the way things are going with the mall train industry. There's still a lot of people that go to them, that go to the events, that go to the that buy them. That there's a lot of people that buy them secondhand. But you're seeing this really interesting influx of train fans, those who got into it during the pandemic and are now getting it out of it, for many reasons. And there's also those who who are just getting into it because they love trains. Japan is a train loving culture. Like Switzerland and other places, America is not a train loving culture. It is people who love trains are people who pretty much grew up. America has always been more of a not passenger, but freight train dominated country. But they are saying that passenger, there's interest of growing numbers in passenger trains, and people riding passenger trains in the U.S. and that's a good thing. But I think America has a long way to go, especially with their high-speed rail, which is I don't even want to go there. I've talked about it before. Okay, so again, at TOMIX there has been a lot of announcements. So we're going to go to another one. Okay, we are now going to move on to Plarail, because Takara Tomy's Plarail has announced major news. So what is Plarail, for those of you who are just listening to this podcast for the first time? Plarail is a plastic model train that is very that runs on batteries pretty much, and unlike Engage or HO, which run on tracks and you can use a power controller to control it, the Plarail is pretty much ran off of a single AA battery. And sometimes it has a lot of features. Actually, they all come with certain features. Maybe light, having multiple speeds, or it has some sort of gimmick. Maybe sound. The sound ones are very cool because sometimes it includes the jingles, the announcements, and the train sounds. which is a plus. And the great thing about it, these trains can run anywhere from $8 to $20. These are for standard releases. They do have limited edition, private railway releases, which go a little higher, about 3,000 yen, which is about 22 bucks or so. But here's the thing. The big announcement made by Plarail is their Plarail Real Class. And as mentioned before about the 485, they are releasing a 485 series limited express Plarail Real Class. That is huge. And this is going to be the Raicho. So as you saw before, they are releasing a Raicho for TOMIX. They're going to be releasing that Raicho for the Plarail Real Class, and that is awesome. The difference between Plarail Real Class and regular Plarail is that, for one, they come with 3 of these plastic gray tracks, which are a little bit, looking a little bit more, realistic in terms of track-wise, instead of the blue plastic tracks that standard Plarail come with when you buy them sets or packages. And also, they do come with a detail, and they come with 3 types of. Well, actually, I'm not sure how they're going to do this one, but usually they come with extra roofs. One is for lower and one's for higher. I'm not sure how they're going to do this one because the 485 is a little higher, but we'll see. Right here, they're also releasing the 185 series, the Odoriko Shonan block color. Now, here's the thing. When you are interested in Japanese trains, when you collect Japanese trains, there is a certain color. Well, there's actually various colors. You got the yellow Seibu. You got the red KQs. They're famous. But there's always the green and orange that you'll see on trains that are just so popular. And when you see the word Shonan related trains tend to sell quickly. And the fact that they're releasing a 185 series of the Odoriko Shonan block color is a major plus. So I like that. So you get the Odoriko. Both of them do come with, I believe, the head marks. Yep. And they come with 4-car trains. Both of them do. So okay, so right now, again, retail price is $7,700. Getting through Amazon Japan, they go lower. If you probably pre-purchase it, you may get a 4,800 to 5,200 yen. So all in all, about with the dollar to yen USD ratio, it comes to about what, $43, $45 USD, which is not bad, considering what you get for it in terms of detail and the 3 extra tracks. Again, a lot of people are wondering how far these will go. These are targeted towards more of adult collectors who love Plarail and don't want to buy the spend money on Engage. It's something more as a collector's for adults who are just collectors and just maybe for display or whatever. In a way, I've said this before in our Plarail special episode 2 episodes ago, that one of the things that Takara Tomy should have done is actually released full sets, because the tracks, finding curved sets is going to be very difficult because they only sell through their online shop. And you might see some sellers sell it on eBay, but it's going for a lot. I wish there was just a set of tracks that people have access to, and I think that was a mistake for not doing it. But my biggest hope is that we do get more releases. There's been speculation for some people. They're saying, there's just going to be only 2 sets of releases. I hope not, because this is the second one now, and it's being released in October of 2023. I hope there's more. But we have noticed with when it comes to Plarail, especially with Plarail Advance, which are the engage size type of Plarail that you could run two on one regular blue track. Um, One of the concerns is that Takara Tomy will just discontinue it and focus on its main line. I hope that doesn't happen. I really do hope that the Plarail Real Class continues, because I think there are people who really do dig these more detailed trains. And I know some people are like, well, if I'm going to spend that much, then I'd rather get an Engage, and that sounds right. But with the price increases of Engage, um, you know, I think right now these are the more affordable way to go. Something that meets in the middle of cheap Plarail and Engage. This is somewhere in the middle, and I think it's affordable. Again, for those of you outside of Japan, I think under $50 is not bad. Whereas in Japan, of course, because it's a little bit more expensive, some people may have some qualms about spending that much money. But again, I do really like this series. I do like how it looks. I've did a review on it. I really do like it. It runs with AA batteries. I just like the look, and I just like how it's presented. I was a little, surprised. I actually was on the fence of getting it, and when I did get it, I was actually quite impressed. So, okay, so the Plarail World Class, of course, you got the Odoriko with the green stripes, and then the Romance Car, which were big sets. But let's take a look at this video of the new Plarail World Class.
Plarail リアルクラス第2弾は485系ライチョウ185系踊り子号湘南ブロック色クリアパーツをふんだんに盛り込み細部に至るこだわりリアルな立体表現細部までの作り込みリアルな塗装を施したハイディティールプラレールリアルクラス
Okay, so that is a cool video right there. Let's go ahead and pause that one. But again, Plarail Real Class is definitely on a class of its own. Definitely worth getting. Thumbs up. You also are getting an S19 E657 Series Limited Express Hitachi Revival Color Green. So this one is going to be also released in October 2023. This is from the standard line, so definitely pick it up when you can. This one comes with 2 speeds, 3 trains, so it's definitely, I like the look, but again, the question is if you are a big fan of this E657. Sometimes the regular Plarails lately have just been selling out, and hopefully this one is something you can definitely find. But I do know that this one is going to be replacing another set here, so we'll click on this one. So I think this is not it. No, this is the other one. I need to go to another S19 here, but it is replacing the purple and yellow one. If you are into Plarail, you guys might understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, and also being released is this limited edition of the E531, or actually a non-numbered E531 Series Red Electric Wrapping Commemorative Vehicle. You do have the 531, I think it's the S50. and the S50 was blue, had blue on it, and it's something that I've ridden on before when I'm in Ibaraki Prefecture. I think in Mori or Katsuta stations, but this one is in the red electric. This one is operated as part of the regular train until around the spring of 2026, and it's now out on. This is commemoration of the 60th anniversary of the Katsuta Rolling Stock Center. So yeah, it's using this reddish yellow look paint. Livery, I guess you could say. So this one goes at 1 speed, and yeah, I think if anything, it's just if you're looking for something more limited, then you can definitely take advantage of it. By the way, for those of you who are saying, can you swap out? Yeah, some in Plarail you can definitely swap out the chassis if you want something faster, but really, it's really up to you if you think it's really necessary. But these are the 4 releases for Plarail. So definitely check it out. Okay, so one of the big news is the announcement from Dovetail Games that Train Sim World 4 is coming out. And that's pretty cool. But it also begs to ask the question of why a new release is being released not even a full year after Train Sim World 3 came out. So, again, there are going to be a lot of questions that people are going to be debating about online. And similar to a Madden game or a FIFA game or a NBA game, you're going to have different years. So, that's understandable because roster changes, the sports changes, graphics change, rules change. So sports it's a little bit more acceptable. But for a train sim, I think a lot of people thought that there would be years of game improvements of one line before it moves on to another. And I think that's where a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot, but I think that's where you see people who are being very verbal online of their displeasure of seeing Train Sim World 4 come out when Train Sim World 3 just came out less than a year ago. So, this one will be released in September, this month actually, and it's not known if the Train Sim World 3 will be, if it's going to be backward compatible. But there are going to be differences, and how I feel about it. I can see it on both ends. I can see it on both sides. I think with most video games, I've been used to seeing, one release after another. Some improvements made, but usually for something like this, I think if you're used to Train Sim Classic, where it's been ongoing since 2009 or 2008, and there have been DLC support. Now, those who are designing trains, making it for the new, with the new graphics and everything, it's going to be interesting. Will people continue to support Train Sim World 3, or are they going to be pushing for Train Sim World 4 releases only? I don't know how it's going to go. I don't develop the games, but at the same time, it just depends on the person. For me, I see excitement of a new game coming out, but at the same time, I do understand where other people are a little bit frustrated, because many feel, why haven't you, improved Train Sim World 3 and keep on releasing more releases for that instead of releasing a new game? So those are valid things. But let's go ahead and check out the trailer real quick. We're going to go right here. Okay, so let's take a look at Train Sim World 4. This is the announcement trailer right here. We're going to turn down the music because Depeche Mode's Just Can't Get Enough is playing. So we're not going to do that. So we're just going to look at the video itself. And one of the things you could say about Train Sim World is just how awesome the graphics are. It's really well done. So you're going to need a really good computer to play it, more than likely. So the question is that, my thoughts, well, am I going to jump on the Train Sim World 4? More than likely. Pretty much, I don't know if this is going to be the how it's going to be like this. Train Sim World 5, is that going to be coming out in September of 2024? And then Train Sim World 6, is this what their plans are? Who knows? But yeah, here are the graphics right here. And, for the most part, yeah, I really, you got the free roam photo mode, Creators Club. Okay. Got the, I'm not sure if this comes with it or you get the S-Bahn Vorarlberg, East Coast Main Line, Antelope Valley Line. I'm not sure if it comes with it or these are just available DLCs. Then you got the Deluxe Edition right here. So you get to use the Flying Scotsman. Got ease of access, compatible content. Well, it looks like there's backward compatible right here. Get access to the vast Train Sim World back catalog for over 70 different routes and locomotives. All playable within trains. I think that's a positive right there. So, it's great for those who are just getting the game and pretty much, you can unlock extra services. Let's see here. Graphical improvements, of course. And there's the deluxe edition, then the special edition, which will go for $109. So it just depends if you want to get those other trains or not. Of course, Steam has a lot of sales, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes 50%, if you can get it at 50% off near Black Friday or the Christmas holiday, but we'll see. But here are the differences of the bundles right here. Again, I'm not now knowing it's backward compatible and then it could offer new modes. Maybe that is where the counter argument is that they wanted to push the limits more, better graphics, and they do allow for special editions, but I mean not special editions, but allow for backward compatibility to for people to play these, their back catalog of games of Train Sim World. And again, it's just hard to, I understand both sides. Business-wise, I think it is a little frustrating for people when you announce something not a year. Could they have waited a second year? Possibly, or a third year. But it happens. It happens. And, they could have, continued to release, more DLC for Train Sim World 3, but there must be a central key reason for Train Sim World for them to push this. The only thing I could see of is just the graphic enhancements, and there was just something that maybe there's something that needed to be fixed or corrected, and that's why we have Train Sim World 4. Who knows? But the way I look at it is that if you do love the games, then support the company, support the games, the DLC. Otherwise, for those of you who say, well, there's some people who say, well, I'm not going to play, I'm not going to support it, I'm not going to buy it. By all means, you all have that, you can, do that. If you don't want to, don't buy it. If you don't want to support it. But otherwise, my feeling is that, usually when you see these bundle sales, especially for Train Sim World or Train Sim World Classic, sometimes they have some awesome deals on Steam. I'm not going to worry it. I'm not going to, it's not something that, ticks me off. I know it takes a lot of people off, but at the same time, for me, it is what it is. And, some people may look at it as a greedy move. Some people may say it's good business sense. Whatever. For me, it is what it is. And if this is how it's going to be from here on in, and we'll see TSW 5 in September 2024. Again, it is what it is, and that's the decision that they're going for. Because I could tell you right now, in the grand scheme of things, especially if you've played mobile games before and you're seeing how things are becoming you see a lot of complaints about it, how a lot of new or current video games are now accepting the model that that mobile games have set, where you could micropayments, I think they call it, or where you just keep on. There's everything that should have been available in the game, you have to buy separately online. Uh, that's how things are. I think that's how things are going to be moving, and that's how companies are making their money, especially on the mobile space. My gosh, I mean, I don't know what games you play, but you can easily burn, your wallet just by purchasing these added content. Maybe more money, more more, in this case, more trades or whatever. It's just how it is, and it's been like this for Train Sim World and Train Sim Classic. If you want DLCs, then buy it. But for me, it's just the nature of how things are going with the video game industry. Um, but again, I understand both sides. Those who support it, those who are frustrated by it. But at the same, for me, it is what it is, and it's just something that you have to come in and come to and expect that this is the direction that the company will be going into the future. And just remember, Dovetail Games just sold, to a new company, and maybe this is the new direction that they're going for. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, okay, on to the next. Okay, everyone, let's check out the Big Camera sales rankings. So this is for August 27th through September 2nd. So let's check out what's number one on the Plarail seller pop. Okay, let's start this over. Plarail popular seller ranking. Okay, here we go. Number one, that E531 red electric wrapping. That is number one to pre-order, 2280 yen. So Big Camera's selling it a lot lower right now, which is great. Takara Tomy Plarail S19, the E657 Limited Express Hitachi with the revival color green, and number two. Number three, we have the Plarail Real Class 485 Limited Express train, the Raicho. Number four is the Plarail Real Class 185 Series Limited Express train, Odoriko Shonan colors. So, number five, we got those plastic Plarail couplers, connecting parts. Number six, the Asobi set. Number seven, the curved blue tracks. Number eight, we got the new Sakura. It's not the new, but it's the R06 new Sakura. Number nine, you got those little rubber wheel tires. Number 10, you got the Plarail 20 DX rail kit. 11, you got the Shankarion Z, the 500 MU Sky Type Eva. Number 12, we have the Plarail slope set. 13, you can create a layout. Plarail basic rail set. 14 is the Dr. Yellow 923 with that special light that comes with the Plarail kids. 15 is another special DX series, the Twilight Express series of Mizukaze. 16 is the Departure Progress set with the E5 series Hayabusa control set. 17, you got the Talking Thomas Plarail OT01. The 18 is the Thomas Kumakae rail set. So that rounds out for the Plarail. Let's go ahead and check out Engage real quick. So at number one, we got the KATO Engage 11212. And this is the LD interior light for clear 6 cars. Okay. This is the light, the LED lights. So everyone's buying a lot of these LED lights to light up their train. So that's number one. Number two, 957 Takamatsu Kotohira Electric Railway 1070 Type 2 car set from Greenmax. Number three, we got the Greenmax structure, coffee shop Komeda coffee shop, which is cool. Number four is the KATO 10034 old passenger car 4 set brown. Number five, we have the 3072 E56 primary type. At number six, we have the Kuroshio 100 series 7. Okay, wait, 6 is the add-on. Number 7 is the basic set for the Kuroshio. 8, we have the JR205 Saikyo Kawagoe line, 10 cars. Wow. Number 9, we have the 24 series TOMIX 25 type limited express sleeper passenger Hokutose JR Hokkaido specification, 6 car set. A little confused here. Number 9. No, number 10 is where we're at. Okay, this is the basic car, the basic set. This one comes with 6 cars of that Hokutose. What is the difference here? I'm saying the same thing. I'm not sure if that's a mess up there. We get the Engage 8738 private truck, 5450. So that's a Taki. Japan Petroleum Transportation at number 11. Number 12, we have the JR Freight Wagon WAM 38, 380,000. 13, we have the 8729 JR Freight Koki 104 type. 14, we have the KATO 6117 Kiha 65 series. It's a classic right there. It's going to go cheap. 15, we got the Tomy Tech 92792 JR Series Type 25 Limited Express Sleeper Car. Yume Kukan Hokutose. 16, we have the 101421 Koki 104. No container, loading 2 car sets. Koki sell really quickly. Definitely something you want to add if you want that blue Koki right there. 17 is the Unitrack electric turntable 2283. And then 18, we have the TOMIX HO gauge, the 0795 indoor lighting unit. So that is big camera. Next one's Yodobashi camera, and I think the Yodobashi one is a little bit. I think they got something wrong. Number 1, you have an ambulance, which probably does not belong there, but this is for TRANE mail order sales, and this is for Yodobashi camera. And then you get the Toykos, the Sound TRANE Series E235s. 3rd place, Toyko Sound TRANE Series E233 Keihan Tohoku line. 4th, Toyko Sound TRANE Hokuriku Shinkansen E7 series. 5th place, TRANE, the Blue Sky number 15 Meitetsu series. These are die-cast metal. So we're seeing a lot of the cheaper ones that are being sold. Takara Tomy, the Plarail S31 E233 Shonan color. 7th place, you get the Motoka Ran Shinkansen E5 series Hayabusa. And 8th, the Motoka Ran Shinkansen E6 series, the Komachi. So what we're seeing here are pretty much the things that a lot of parents are buying for their kids, cheap die-cast metal products and so forth. So, yeah. Let's go back here. Let's see here. Do we have... Let's see something they just have. Nope. Still, that ambulance is still there. Oh well. What can you do? Let's go look at Plarail. What does Yodobashi have at number 1? Okay. So you have the Railway Experience E5 series Hayabusa control set, departure series, okay, with the controller. 2nd place, you got S46 Plarail Doraemon tram. 3rd place, you got the EH500 Kintaro, the S25. 4th place is the Plarail S36 Tobiya Spacia X. 5th place is the S32 E235 opening and closing Yamanote line. Number 6 is S27 E235 series Yokosuka line. 7th place, we have the Takara Tomy Plarail S34 Transport Train. And at 8th place, you have the Dr. Yellow Type 923 Yellow T4 formation with light. So that is the big sells for both Big Camera and Yodobashi. And as you can see the differences between the two, but the big camera looks like the new Plarails are the ones that are pretty much on pre-order, that are pretty much that people are going for. While you see a Yodobashi camera, you can see a lot of the trains, the diecast model, and even the children's trains are the ones that are sold the most. But that's no surprise right there. But yeah, those are the sales for the week. And let's go on to the next segment. Okay, so before we sign off, I just want to say thank you to Yuto-san. Yuto is one of the coolest YouTubers, longtime YouTubers, who started as a child, with TOMIX showcasing his Tomika and his Plarail, and then showing his growing love for Engage. And we got to see him build various diorama, his huge tracks, just wonderful. But being a young guy, one of the things that, that a lot of us, many of us will go through is growing up, going to college, getting married, going through life changes. And while he does not mention, the things he's going through, he is, he just announced that he will be stopping his YouTube channel due to certain changes that have occurred in the last few months in his life. And, I do wish him the best, because a lot of people will, go through this, especially in Japan. It's just not just model train fans, but you have Gunpla or Tomika collectors, and it's always something that you see on various random polls in Japan of, how many husbands, how many wives have made their husbands get rid of all their hobbies. And of course, in Japan, as you know, many people live in smaller spaces, and they don't have the space to hold all their hobbies. And it's one of the reasons why there's such a boom with the secondary stores right now who are selling used trains. And a lot of people are getting rid of them. Again, a lot of people got into them during the pandemic, and now that people are back to the new normal, a lot of people are selling their collections to the benefit of those who are just getting into them or who are just present collecting. But yeah, those are the things that people will have to face regardless. One of the beautiful things about trains is, if you're especially if you're going to Plarail, you could always keep things in the box and keep things in the bin easy. The same thing with KATO and TOMIX, you can do that, but once you start getting into the diorama side of it, those things tend to be a little bit more permanent. And it's not known if if Yuto will be selling his stuff or what. No one really knows, or if he's moving away from home, going to college, or pursuing his music career. It's not known, but what is known is that he is saying goodbye to his YouTube channel, and that he is stopping model trains. And so a lot of people have been commenting on that, and including myself. So I wish him the best, and we're gonna go ahead and take a small look of Yuto's channel. We featured it before, but we're gonna feature the past of him, when he first started. And this is just such a touching video, which I'll put a link down the bottom here.
ある時に、N ゲージを急に始めて、でそこからね、今に至るわけなんですけど、最終的にはこの N ゲージ、鉄道模型が好きな方がたくさんね、見てくれるようになって、それでね、本当にいろんな動画を出させていただきました。本当にね、多分11年間ですかね、このチャンネル、メインチャンネルは
Yeah, he's been doing it since 2011.
ありがとうございました。
11 years. Or is it actually 2000? Yeah. 2012? 2011? Here it is. Look at that. He's been posting these YouTube channels, man. Tomica Limited Vintage Neo right there. Awesome. Oh, no. You cannot do this to me. Hate that about YouTube lately. It's just to see him so excited of the Plarail that he got. That's pretty awesome. But you see him grow from a child to a teenager and to the young adult that he is right now. He got his first engage set.
ここに置いてあったからタイミングが悪い。じゃあここです。
Oh man. To see how he has evolved, especially when he built this trait, is just really amazing. His diorama. And Yuto does a lot of crazy things, especially if you watch his train videos.
VAC、MAC、愛国王打球戦のシリーズ、ここからちょっと JR に入っていきます。じゃーん、こちらです。こんな感じで撮ってますか。ダメだったんだ。YouTube をね、YouTube をやめるっていうか、そういうね、タイトルになってしまいましたけども、実はですね、私はやめません。まだやめませんよ。まだって言ったらなんかあれですけど、今のところやめません。横振るだと。横見てる。これだーい。出口は左側です。重大発表があります。こんなメッセージもいただきました。申し訳ないんですけど、なんと引退するわけではありません。ご安心ください。私のチャンネル名を変えます。改名します。ユート放送局になります。もう全然違う。全然違うよね。
Yuto is also an accomplished musician, drummer. Was it a sax player too?
雑誌に載りました。12月の25日発売って書いてあるので。それで通過中です。ご注意ください。めっちゃいい香り。ちょっと言っちゃった。とんでもないことを言いたいと思いますので、皆さん覚悟して聞いてください。自作レイアウト廃止でございます。じゃじゃーん。どうですか。まだ完成しないのでね。てれーん。見てください。それじゃあ今からですって。いやー楽しいねこれ。JR 横須賀線の東戸塚駅になります。今日はいい感じですよね。とても安定した走りでいいか。
Got the adventure train right there.
これサードチャンネル行きはい、今日はですね、皆様に、重大な発表お知らせがございます。解体いたします。複線のレイアウトにしようかなと考えております。 ここでね、スマホで動画を撮ったりとか。
Gosh, his layouts are just epic. Very well done.
そしてアルコール消毒、おーちゃんとやりましょう。うわすげえ出るな。ちょっとすごいね。早速ねでっかいジオラマがありました。買うか買わないかで悩んでたら10分後売り切れてしまいました。うわ悔しい。やっぱり買っときゃよかった。買えばよかった。ということで、おおいいじゃん。完成しました。
Yuto tends to do a lot of McDonald's food segments. But yeah, for the most part, I just want to, say thank you to Yuto because, he made his videos a lot, it's a lot user friendly. For one, you have a lot of, adults, older adults who can afford and spend a lot of money. But, here's a kid who did things, according to his budget, what he could afford. And a lot of people grew up watching him. And you started to see him evolve as, a hobbyist, and especially his diorama and how it became a lot more elaborate, much more detailed, and amazing. 2023, he posted videos that are just simply amazing. But at the same time, though, it is sad to see him say goodbye. But for the most part, my feeling is that, once you get the love for trains and the model trains in your blood, you tend to come back to it. Maybe when he is much more established, older, and has his own place where he can do such things. But yeah, it's a cycle that a lot of collectors go through, especially train collectors and those who make dioramas and so forth. It's not the I don't think it's the last time we'll see Yuto, but at the same time, I wish him the best in all future endeavors. So, thank you, Yuto, for everything. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Hey, everyone. Well, I want to thank you again for listening to episode 46 of the Tetsudo Mokei Podcast edition. I'm playing Train Simulator Classic, which is the older version. Actually, it's still going on. It's still widely supported by fans. The reason why a lot of people play this game is because it is more realistic. For train sims, it's the most realistic one. It's also the most punishing one, because if you mess up, you mess up. And the last thing you want to do is play a 2-hour game and mess up. So it takes a lot of patience, and you really have to love this game, love the actual challenge of it. Otherwise, if you want something a little easier, then you play the Train Simulator World. Again, not so harsh against Train Simulator World 4. I know a lot of people have some complaints about it. I don't. But, to each their own. And if anything, you can play the original, or you can just play the new game. It's all up to you. Pretty much, this is a free roam. I'm just gonna let it play. Yeah, the Train Simulator Classic is just not a It's not the best looking game. I mean, it's using a 2008 or 2009 or something like that engine. But again, it's the best way to get a lot of DLCs of trains that you love, and for a cheap price too. But again, it's not the easiest game. A little bit more punishing. So anyway, hey everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.